Well, here we are, something to talk about, another edition. And I'm just feeling a little bit cold.
Yeah, you look cold out there, Stuart. I'm
But-
warm and cozy in the house.
And it's interesting because I usually have the studio background, and you are sitting out on your back porch by the pool, outside. And I thought, well, you know what? This time I'm gonna switch it around because you're probably going to be inside, and I'll just put myself on the outside just for the thrill of it.
Well, I'm glad you got your hat and coat on. Stay warm.
Yes. In
I'm
fact,
gonna be
probably halfway through this show, I'm going to start like Rudy Giuliani. Something will start streaming down my face.
I'm gonna start looking for a deer back there.
Yes, yeah. You watch and see if something goes past me in the back.
That would actually be something if we could come up, since we're all doing these Zoom calls and meetings and shows and whatever. We should have backdrops that are live. Well, they probably do have them. I don't know.
They do have. In fact, I have a friend that's got one that's the water lapping up on the beach in the Caribbean, and you can see the palm tree is swaying, and you see the water coming up on the beach. And I haven't been able to find any of those video backdrops yet. I'm going to try and find a couple.
Well, my backdrop is live. And you might every now and then, if it happens, see my cat cross behind me on the buffet back here.
Right. Yeah. Or occasionally Rocky has walked right in front of your face.
Or he'll just walk right here.
You know,
that's like his tail.
Hey, this is my house too, you know.
Well, it's funny because I think when cats, they like to lay on your work area for real. And so when my laptop is up like this, Rocky does find me, and he likes to come, and what he's doing is he's trying to actually cross over to lay on my keyboard. And
it's warm.
It's either because it's warm, or he knows he's getting my attention, or he's trying to do the same thing. They also say that cats try to mirror what you're doing. Sometimes if you're working, that's why they're playing with your pen, or I don't know. I cannot get into the mind of a cat right now. But and nor do I think I ever really want to. But yeah, so he is actually wandering around. So yeah, you might see him cross back here in a little bit. So anyway, how are you doing? How was your week?
Very, very good. Had a good week, and as you know, by this time next week, I will have gone over the top with my landmark birthday. I'm looking forward to it, and I got surprised this past weekend because of COVID and everything. I thanked everybody and just knew Lauren and I were probably just going to have a low-key, birthday dinner together. And Sunday evening, we opened up the garage door. We were told that there was somebody had dropped off a package on our driveway in the back. And Lauren and I both thought that was kind of strange. But anyway, we went out in the garage, opened up the garage door, and our daughter was standing on the driveway. God. She drove in from Chicago to be with her dad for his birthday. So I'm absolutely thrilled. It's the best birthday gift I could get.
Oh, that's so awesome. Is she still there? Did she stay?
Yeah, she's still here. She's actually in the living room working right now. So
that's really neat. I love that. And Lauren didn't know either?
No, Lauren didn't know either.
Oh, wow. That's really great.
Just absolutely blown away. So
wait, you open the garage door and she's standing in the garage?
She was standing on the back driveway. She had gotten up that early that morning and drove 14 hours from Chicago and drove straight through to North Texas.
That's really neat. I have to say that's one of the benefits, and there are not many, but that is one of the pros of this pandemic, is that people are, for some people, they're working remotely, which is allowing them the flexibility to do things like what she just did for you. She's able to travel to you and be with you and still work.
Well, it goes to show the ingenuity that some people have in light of a pandemic. You have to just kind of repurpose yourself.
Right. Yep.
You know.
And you just have to, it sounds so cliche to say this, but you have to make the best of it. And I've told my kids that. I've got, Matthew, who's out of college already working, and working on his master's program at the same time. And he's able to continue doing both of those things online, because he's working from home, but he's able to take his office with him. Pardon me, this summer, he took his office to the mountains. Just recently, in fact, they're flying today. He took his office to California. And so he's been able to continue working and all that, and schooling and all that online. The girls, they're home still schooling, but I have told them just, there are days when they are so frustrated with having to do this online schooling, and because it's difficult for some. It's just not the same as being in person in the classroom. And, I don't know what more to say because I can't change it. All I can say is you just got to try to make the best of it, which,
And it seems like we are doing the best that we can. Just want to take a little sidebar and just notice a note came in. Want to say hello to David Jordan over at the Patriot Sandwich Company, who's watching the show. Thank you very much, David, to you and your staff. Hope you're having a great time over there. Got Patriot Sandwich Company in Denton, Texas. Great place for a great sandwich.
Ooh, sounds good.
Yeah, so we're gonna head over there one of these days too. So all is well. Now, is your family home now, or the girls are still down at Baylor? And
well, the girls are home from school because, as is the case in most universities, I believe, the kids are taking their finals online, and so that way they were able to leave for the Thanksgiving break and stay home all the way through the holidays, and only return back to school mid-January. So that way they were preventing a lot of the comings and goings of these students at some of the universities. So they are home from school, but they are still in school taking their finals, I believe, this week, and then they will be officially done for the holidays and not returning until mid-January. So they are, and like I said, Matthew is traveling, and yes, he was one of the I don't know what was the count of Thanksgiving travelers. It was something
over 1 million or something.
He was one of those travelers who left. Although he didn't travel on the busy days, they left before, like a week before Thanksgiving almost, and then is only returning today.
Yeah.
So yeah. Other than that, same old over here.
Yeah, it curtailed some travel, but not as much as some people predicted it would. They didn't think that as many people would travel over Thanksgiving, but while it wasn't a typical Thanksgiving holiday at the airports, there was still enough travel to fill all the planes.
Yeah. Well, I think I heard also that the planes are filling because there aren't as many of them flying. So the ones that they have. Yeah. So the ones that they have. So yeah.
Yeah, that's why they're full, of course. And in many cases, what used to be a direct flight, now they make a stop or two en route.
More people,
yeah. In fact, our daughter had thought about maybe flying down because she flies standby. But when she looked at the flights, she would have had to leave early in the morning and get here pretty much late at night. And she said, shoot, I can get in the car and I can drive to Dallas in less time than it takes to get to the airport and make 2 or 3 stops on the way down there.
Yeah. Well, is it a pretty easy drive? I mean, 14 hours is a long time, but is she on interstate most of the way?
Yeah, interstate all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Interstate, yeah. Goes straight down from Chicago down to Memphis, and Memphis over to Dallas, and she's going to go back a different route through Springfield and St. Louis, and then back up to Chicago. And almost all of it is divided highway.
Well, it just sounds like people are trying to continue to experience the holidays try to see their family if they can, modify the head count when need be,
right.
Travel however makes you feel comfortable. It's because I've talked to a handful of people, even just within my close circle of friends, and we had quite a few people who did travel, and some drove, some flew, some went by boat, train.
Yeah.
I'm kidding about the boat. Yeah, and then head count over Thanksgiving. I don't know about y'all, but like we're usually 10 to 12, and this year we were 6. And just try to still embrace the holiday spirit and the blessing of being together with friends and family, but keep it safe at the same time. I think most people try to do that. I haven't heard of any big shindigs happening,
No, and certainly everybody got a little creative with Zoom, because my son and his family were having Thanksgiving dinner at their house, and we had Thanksgiving dinner at our house, and we just Zoomed with them at the same time, and we looked at each other's table and shared a little bit together, raised a glass of wine and toasted each other, and then we went on our separate ways again. So a lot of people did that, and it's something for the record book, something that they'll remember as something that they did that was so out of the ordinary.
Right. Yeah. Well, Zoom has definitely helped in many, many ways to keep us connected to family and friends. But you and I talked about this last week. I think that it's great that we have it. I just hope that we don't always have to use it in that manner.
Right. I mean, everybody thought it was just the greatest thing since sliced bread when it first came out, because they could all be connected and all. Now everybody's getting a little tired of it.
Yeah. Well, like anything, when it goes on too long, and if it's something that you're not completely happy with, it tends to just wear on you, I think. And I think that's what's happening to a lot of people, is just the whole situation. Everything is just wearing on people, I think. And so, but again, you got to make the best of it. And now here we are approaching the colder months, in through the winter months here. And of course it'll be colder in some places than others. I have a friend whose family spends half the year in Florida, and it'll probably stay in the 80s through the whole, winter. But here in Dallas, we're kind of, even though we're Texas, we're far north, so we're going to start to get a little colder. It's chilly here today. But I thought it was interesting that you said you wanted to talk about the weather. And at first I thought, well, gosh, what are you talking about with the weather? What is that? But there are so many aspects of the weather that you were talking about, and how the weather affects different people, especially, all of us who are living these times right now, how it's going to affect us.
Yeah, well, I mean, even what we were just mentioned about Zooming, when you think about all the people in the northern part of the country that are either starting to experience snow or certainly will be experiencing snow and even blizzards, the fact that they can sit in the comfort of their own home or office and Zoom into their offices and continue to carry on work instead of having to warm up the car and get out on the highway and scrape the ice off the windshield and go through all of that process in order to commute to work. That's where Zoom is going to be very much appreciated during the winter months.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting, though, how everybody, is getting tired of Zooming. But once we have this whole pandemic behind us and people start traveling back and forth to work, are they going to kind of miss that being able to get up 5 minutes before you normally would have to be at work? Clicking on your computer and Zooming. Now you got to get up an hour and a half and shower and get dressed and get ready and get on the road and drive in order to get to your place of business.
Yeah.
All of a sudden everybody's going to look at that process and say, oh man, I remember when it was so much easier when I stayed home and Zoomed.
Well, I think people are going to have to, when this pandemic is finally behind us, I think people are going to have to definitely readjust to.
Sure.
I mean, this is It's going to be a long, I mean, it will have been over a year when things shift. And I can't say shift back to normal, because I don't think we're going to ever go back to what normal used to be.
Yeah, the old normal.
Yeah, I don't think that. And so I do think that actually a lot of companies, to your point, the professionals, speaking about them in particular, like I know a lot of companies are going to maintain this new kind of, I guess, the logistics around kind of where your work's environment, where you work. And so, like, I think Phil's company will continue to not do the traveling. A lot of them will continue to work from home. They'll go into the office as needed only. And I think a lot of businesses will maintain that new kind of, so yeah, but whatever it is, you'll have to reshift and get back to whatever the new normal is. Yeah. But what's not going to ever change is the weather. So, because the weather's going to continue to change and change back and change again. And we have to change right along with it. I was just talking to some neighbors of mine who asked me what the topic of the show was. And I told them the weather, and they kind of initially thought the weather, what can you talk about really? And I said, well, actually, there's really a lot to talk about, and the fact that how the weather can really affect us personally, our moods, specifically during these times. And my one neighbor shared a story with me. She said, it's funny that you bring this up, because I was just talking to her sister, who was telling her about these vitamin D lamps. They're sun lamps, I think they're called. Something like that. They're not called vitamin D. I think they're called sun lamps. Anyway, it's not like one of those old tanning bed lamps where you can actually lay under it and get sunburn or anything like that. Right. But it is something actually, yeah, it's something that you can actually, I don't have one. I don't know that I've ever even seen one, but the way it was described to me, it's a lamp, however, a floor lamp or a table lamp, don't know. But it's a sun lamp. You can put it in your room, and it's supposed to help with the seasonal blues. People are very affected when day after day after day after day, it's gloomy and cold and rainy and gloomy and cold and rainy. And I thought that was so interesting that there is such a thing. And not that it's here in Texas, that kind of weather, but certainly there are days where we get the consistent, like behind you, although that's beautiful behind you. But I just thought it was interesting. These little sun lamps, you can, on those days where you're feeling a little of the seasonal blues, you turn on your little sun lamp.
There's an app for everything. People that don't have fireplaces, you can now get an app on your TV, so you can sit back in your easy chair and click on and have this nice fire on your TV. Yeah. That makes it look like you're sitting in front of a nice fire.
It even crackles.
Yeah. Crackle makes the noise and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. We just got a post on the screen that one of our favorite and loyal listeners, Karen Hirschfeld from Albuquerque, New Mexico, said that she Zoomed with her brothers. So they were playing cards in New Mexico, Colorado, South Carolina, and Florida. So they Zoomed and had a card game. See,
that's great.
That's ingenuity for you.
Okay, what's this? Oh, here we go. Brighten up your day. There you go.
Is that it? Okay.
Okay, so that's it. There you go. That's your sun. That's your sun lamp. So as the winter months approach us, if you are in that kind of gloomy area, get yourself one of those sun lamps. It'll help lift your spirits, apparently.
Why can't you just open up the window and let the sun come through?
It's UV free. Well, that's what I'm saying, because if it's a gloomy day where you are and the clouds are covering, yeah. So this is for those days that are. Mark's about to make a purchase for us. I think
there.
Here, he's about to add it to the cart. I think he's actually buying one. He is.
Is it?
I think Mark's buying one. Oh my gosh!
Our producer Mark Warner is in the process of buying a sun lamp. He's in northern Michigan, and he knows there's going to be some gloomy days coming, so he's going to add the interior sunshine.
So I have to tell you, I'm okay with cloudy, cold days. I like those. I know I wouldn't want to live in a place where it's like that every day, but I don't mind like putting the fire on and having a gloomy, and when I say gloomy, that doesn't mean in a bad way. It just means, just the winter, that wintry kind of look.
And you know what? That would be a good time to just snuggle up on the couch with a blanket or something and turn on Netflix and watch a good movie.
Absolutely. And that's what I do.
Boy,
there's Santa.
You know what? This is wonderful. There's a few other people that are chiming in. Karen just said to say hello to Carden and Rihanna, or Rhiannon, and Carden.
Hello, Carden and Rhiannon.
So hello to them, and also to Lori Aladef. God bless you, Lori. Thank you for watching the show. Lori, as you know, lost her daughter at the school in Florida at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, and that'll be coming up, I think, at 2 years or so. And she started a Save Our Schools program. She is a champion and an activist for keeping our schools safe, and in memory of her daughter Alyssa. And thank you so much, Lori, for tuning in, and very bless you on the holidays and your entire family. Oh my gosh, she said 3 years. It's been 3 years since that tragedy. That's amazing. But at least we're slowly making progress, and more states are adopting Alyssa's law, and we're very, very proud of all the efforts that she's done. That's a heartwarming thing. Well, hi, Monkey Butt. Thanks.
I wanted to chime in for a second because I made it kind of a joke that there is a lamp out there, but you're gonna laugh at this, Vaughn. Okay, but true story. So I have lights in my office. Alexa, office on. And these are my sunlight.
And then there was light. Wait, are those ultraviolet? Are those?
Yeah, they have. So they're a little bit higher luminance. So they do. They're not considered like the daylight, but they're brighter than white. So there are 5600 K, where most daylights are 6500 or even 5000.
Wow.
So they don't have the blue, but it's, as you can see, the light's turned on and it's a lot brighter. It doesn't make it so bright in here that you have to squint your eyes, but it is really freaking bright in here. My wife doesn't like it too much because it is so bright, but it does have, I think it's like 30% or 25% or something like that of sunlight in it. So
let me ask you, did you put those in for any particular reason, or were they already in the house?
So the interesting thing about this office is the house is, if you know what a gable home is, think of it like a barn, right? So we have 4 major columns that come up on each side of the house and then go up to an angle, and that's where it attaches to the roof. So I have, actually, I'm sorry, there's more than 4. There's 8. So I have 4 or 3 in my room. And I have no place to really put a light in the ceiling because this is a 1969 home. And the way that it was built, they didn't put any lights in ceilings. You did it by electrical outlet or you ran a lamp. So I didn't want to cover my beams up or anything, but I wanted something kind of industrial. Right. So I ran electrical up the walls through the beams, and then metal pipes through the beams. And then I put these LED lights that are flat. They're only about not even 3/4 inch high, and they're 6 inches by 6 inches square. And so I put 6 of them in here, 2 on each one. And I could have probably gotten away with 4, but I did it specifically because as you get older, you can't see.
You're not old, please. I'm older than you.
Yeah.
And I'm older than you.
Don't you have a problem in darkness?
And I'm in this room with just that chandelier.
Yeah.
How do you?
Well, it's nice and sunny outside, so I don't really have the lights on. But there are days when I will. So, and it really helps. Like Stuart has a green screen. I've got a new one coming that is going to be a pop-up, and it'll go wider than this screen. These lights are so bright that I don't need any other lights in the room. it picks up pretty much everything I need because one's sitting right here on top of me.
Yeah, I can see it on your Santa hat.
And then what you can control it with a voice command?
Alexa, office off.
Okay. Okay.
Boom.
Okay.
Okay. So Mark, you didn't do it for your mood or anything. You did it for.
No, I just knew it was in there.
Yeah.
I will teach you something, a little small lesson. I have what, I don't know what you call it. I'm ADD on light bulbs. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
When I buy a house or I have control of a room, I will get rid of all light bulbs and I will find specific light bulbs for my mood, for my eyes, for that room.
Okay.
My wife loves to hate it. She hates to love it because I might go through multiple light bulb versions in order to get what I'm looking for that room. But, everything I have in the house is LED, and I've gotten away from all CFLs or incandescent. I've gone to that. I've gone to non-flickering. There's specific luminance and brightness that I'm looking for, and I'm getting away from all the blues and the yellow and the warms and the softs. I just want a bright, clean white.
Yeah.
So you can see true everything in your house. I don't need to see the yellow. It hurts my eyes now. I mean, not that it's because of my age. It's just my eyes and my wife's eyes would kind of see the same. So it fit by design to do that. But I have had this thing where we would purchase a house, and that is the first thing I do in the first week. Replace every light bulb. I don't care if somebody just bought them. They're all getting replaced.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm getting away from the yellowy kind of light. The problem is, like, these behind me are okay. They're white. I don't like it if it's so white it's blue. Like, I don't like LED. I don't like it's hard to find a good white
level. You're getting into the 6500s or the 6000 luminance and higher, and the Kelvin. So Kelvin is, when you look at LED lights, look at the Kelvin. If it's anywhere from 2700 to 3700, you're going to be in that warm yellow. You get into the 4700 to 4700 to about 5100. It's called soft white, or depending on the manufacturer, it could be more of a bright white. So 5000 to 5400 is what you really want. However, that being said, there are some lights out there that at 4100 kelvins, it's bright white. So again, it depends on the manufacturer. Hey, I'm an expert at these light bulbs. Stop scratching your head.
He's being a wise cracker.
Yeah, she's writing it down, and I'm wondering Kelvins, lumens, whatever. Just give me a bulb. The old one burned out. I need to put a new one up there.
All right. So Stuart, you're gonna laugh. All right. So this is how anal ADD I am about light bulbs. Right. I bought 2 LED bulbs to go in my map lights in my truck. Okay. It said 280 lumens, and it had 9 LEDs around it. So I learned a lesson. There are 5 different versions of type of little bitty LEDs. There's the 3014s, the 3030s, the 3050s, the 5050s, and I'm not sure what else, right? And they're all just a little bit bigger than the other. So I got me 2 of them. Well, what happens when I put them on there and I go to start the car, I can't push the map light. I have to turn the full light on in the truck, then I can push a map light. So it's based on that the truck wasn't manufactured to handle LEDs, right? So I started looking around in LEDs, and there's companies out there that said you need an LED 1094 light bulb that it's called a CAN bus.
1094.
Right?
Yeah.
So I go online and look. I found the perfect one, 300 lumens. I was like, great, it's going to be freaking bright. Okay, it has 3050 lights on there, so there's only 6 of those instead of the 9. Well, I'll be goddamn. I put that sucker in the thing. Same thing happens. I still have to flip the switch to turn the 2 things on there, and it's less bright than my 240s.
See, I accomplished the same thing by getting a flashlight and hanging it from my rearview mirror. just turn on the flashlight, put the map underneath it. That's my map light.
Mark, he's so 70 years old.
Right? He's an old fart.
Yeah.
Because I have to say, I did write some things down that Mark said, because it's funny. Light bulbs are difficult. I can't tell you how many times I put a light bulb in. And also something you have to consider if you're putting it in and you have the right bulb, if you have the wrong shade, you got a problem. I have 2 lamps right now that I like the bulb, but I have to replace the shade. It's just
a white bulb,
you have to get
yellow shade
light or bright light.
Wait. You were about
white light, bright light, daylight, off light,
soft light.
Soft light.
Yes.
Night.
No, what I was saying is that a yellow shade with the white light still going to be yellow light.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. But we're getting into a whole different topic, because therein lies a problem, because a lot of times you might like the lamp and they don't sell the lamp and the shade separately. So you're stuck with the shade that comes with the lamp that you like. So it's a big problem, guys.
Well,
sure,
so
they want to upsell you on a new shade, a new lamp shade.
And it's interesting that we're talking about this, because so for Christmas, our refrigerator that was original to the house went out. So we've ended up having to renovate a little bit in the kitchen and buy a new refrigerator. And doing that, I surprised my wife with a behind the couch credenza, or table, whatever you want to call it. Lamp table, sofa table.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's taller than the couch that we have. And so and it's longer than the one we have. We have one, I think it's like 4 foot. Now I got one that's 5.5 foot. So my wife says, well, the lamp that we have in the middle of the back of the couch is not going to fit there anymore. So what are we going to do? And I said, well, we'll just put it to the end of the couch, which is great, because we have one of those, what they call it, I guess, the husband corner, where it's just a big old sofa corner. It's kind of angled off the couch.
Like
and
a
the other
color.
end is a chaise lounge built onto the couch, right? So I get to the table. She goes, I know what we're going to do. We're going to put that on the other end of the couch, just like you said. We're going to buy a lamp to put in the middle of the thing. So that way, now the living room will have more light, since we have hardly no lights in the living room, because that's not the way the house is built. And I looked at her and she goes, scratch that. We are not buying any freaking light bulbs. I will buy these things and you're going to have to put up with it. And I go, not if they're yellow lights. So she starts to look, and she says to me, she comes this morning, she goes, all right, I found 5 lamps. I'll do it later. It's on my Amazon, where I added that thing on there. So she says, I found them, but I have one problem. I said, what's that? It's not going to match any of the lampshades that we have. So now I got to go find 2 lampshades and trying to find one that'll fit on one lamp, one that'll fit on another lamp, totally 2 different brands and styles. How do you make it work?
Okay, Mark, we're living the same life right now. We are, like, seriously, I've been trying to find 2 lampshades for 2 lamps. What do you call this style where it goes like up at the top, like some kind of thing, and then it goes like this, and then the bottom has and then that has to go, say the lampshade goes on top like that, and that's the piece that holds the lampshade onto the thing. What do you call that?
I don't know what you call that. I don't know what you call that, but you got to find that certain lampshade that'll go around that.
Yeah, well, that's where I am right now, and now I've made it a man.
You know what, Stuart? I'm just going to put you down the bottom. You just shut up.
You see, Mark? Did you see the comment that that Karen just sent?
I know. Oh my God.
No wonder Mark's like.
This goes back to the nuts that she sent a year or so.
So she's the nutty one.
Yeah, because that was addressed to me, and Mark got it, and she says right there he didn't have the right light bulbs.
Oh, that's funny.
Actually, it was kind of dark in the mailroom when I opened them.
Well, I think, yes.
Oh,
the moral of the story is there's a lot more to be said about the light bulb than people realize.
Yes, there is. And I will tell you, if you want to know my experience, this is the one time. Do not walk into the light.
Oh, okay.
It'll blind you.
All right. Honestly, Your Honor, I would have been able to read the contract and all if I had had the right light, but I didn't have the right kelvins and the right lumens, and also I wasn't able to see the fine print on this contract, so I plead not guilty.
There has to be one person in our lifetime that has gone to the courtroom and said, I can't read a damn thing on this thing because it's not the right Kelvin.
Yes.
The light brightness, I can't see.
As soon as you replace all the light bulbs in this courtroom, then I'll be able to continue.
Well, I mean, and I don't know about you guys, but hotels that kind of are going for that ambiance, maybe when I was younger, I would have kind of gotten into it, but I've stayed in my older years at like properties. One in particular is the W, and they kind of go for this dim lighting, kind of dark kind of ambiance, and I can't find my way to the elevator. I'm like, I get off.
There's a reason for that.
One thing that I can't stand about hotels is you want it dark up here, fine. Then give me a pathway down to where my feet is so I can see down the dang hallway to get to the elevator to the stairs and all.
Right. Yep.
They don't want to lighten up those rooms because then you might see what's crawling around down there.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know where you're staying, Stuart, but
right. I stay in clean rooms.
Yeah.
Listen, bugs have a right to their ambiance too.
Bugs have a right to. Bugs have rights too. Yep.
Oh.
All right. Well, I'm glad, Mark. I took notes, so I know what I need to do.
Yeah. So if you're really, the truth be told, if you're looking for the right light, it's not so much the LED manufacturer. You can find it all over the place, but I typically start with 5,000 Kelvin. And I look for something about, and the minimum, depending on the room, at the 60 watt, 70 watt equivalent, which is roughly somewhere around 12 to 15 watts. And it puts off probably somewhere between 800 and 1100 lumens.
Have you seen that new commercial for that? You take down your 60 watt light bulb over your workbench or in the garage.
Yeah, and it's got the three things.
It's got 3 panels of LED lights, and so you take this one thing and replace that 60 watt bulb with something that gives you like 24,000 watts of light.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden now you can land a jet plane in your garage because there's so much light in there.
Yeah, but see, Stuart, if you in a garage like that, if you have bright white, not a daylight and not a warm or yellow light, but a bright white, you can actually see everything in your garage that you need to work on without stressing and struggling to see a little part and listen to a little stuff. So when
are you writing that down, Vaughn?
I'm not gonna do that. I'm focusing on my lamps right now. But I have written down the.
You'll work your way out to the garage later.
I'll get. The garage is not a priority, guys.
Yeah, that's Phil's domain.
That's right. That's Phil's deal.
Well,
yep.
you can call Monkey Butt anytime. My name is Mark Warner. I am a light bulb LED specialist in the land of Michigan, and I've been doing this for 54 years. So use me when you need me.
Okay.
I got the answers.
In fact, in northern Michigan, late at night, very late at night, people know where Mark lives because the amount of lumens and kelvins that he's got emitting from his house and all just lights up the sky.
You have no idea how bad I am with light bulbs.
That's so funny. Never knew that about you. You learn something new every day.
My wife it's one of those things. She don't even argue with me anymore. I just bought 3 sets of lights for my truck to move them to LEDs, and the first 2 just weren't bright enough. And even though I have experience looking, it's the manufacturer. Sometimes they say, hey, it's the super brightest, it has all these kelvins and it has this how many lumens. And I found out that no, that's not the case all the time. It's based on how the LED is put on the device, how many there are around it, what size they are. And one company may say that same bulb is 5,000 Kelvin at 8,000 lumens, but the other one says it's less. But the one with less might be brighter than the one that's more. It's just how they put them together.
Well, now I'm getting a headache. No, I'm just kidding. That was a lot.
I only get a headache, Vaughn, when I'm having to replace 40 light bulbs in the house.
Oh my gosh. That was a lot of information, but I did write down some good stuff. Well, let me ask you one last thing. Where's your favorite place to buy light bulbs?
I either do it on Amazon, but there is a place called, let me look it up real quick. I think it's called
lumensandkelvin.com.
Yeah, no. I think it's called brilliantlights.com. And,
Mark's favorite lightbulbs.com.
Yeah, Brilliant Lights. It's where I bought these lights, and it's where so my wife wanted you kind of like candelabra bulbs. They have a certain size and filament to it. And she's like, as long as they're clear, but they're not like star bright. Like I can't look in the dining room and it's gonna, I'm gonna do this. You can do LEDs in there, but I need them to look old style. I need a vintage look because of the type of lamp that she got the chandelier to hang in there. And I found some, they're probably about that tall, about probably 5 inches tall. And they start small and then they just kind of get bigger at the top, but there's like 3 or 4 LEDs around there and it's perfect. It gives a vintage look, but yet it's a bright white. It's a glow without, when you look at it, because it's got some kind of, cover around the LED. When you look at the light, it doesn't blind you, but it gives off a really bright light.
Karen wants to know if you decorate your house with any colored lights, or are they all white LED bright lights?
Oh, that's pretty funny. Well,
if they're colored lights, they got to have the right number of lumens and kelvins.
All my electronics have multicolor lights.
So multicolor.
I'm looking at a red, a green, a blue, and a yellow right here on my desk.
Yellow?
Yeah, it's a yellow light. I don't know what for. It's yellow and red on there and a green.
Well,
okay.
that's for stop, caution, and go.
Yeah. Santa's going to be really confused when he goes to Mark's house.
Yeah. Hey, I can't turn my computer on yet because the light is yellow.
I'm a weird person. Get over it.
I think you're I know who to go to if I have any questions on my lighting.
So that's the thing that I love the most in my life. The things that I hate the most in my life, you will be totally surprised on that one too. It's my fear and phobia.
I
hate buttons.
Okay.
Buttons?
What?
People have fear of clowns and everything. I can't. You won't see me wear button shirts and stuff. I don't know what it is. A phobia, a fear. I can't stand them.
You feel like you're not going to, if like in an emergency, you need to take your shirt off real quick. You can't unbutton fast enough or.
I can't tell you. I have no idea. All my life, it's just like, nope, not going to touch it. I will run away and walk away from it so fast.
What about buttons on your pants?
I don't have to see it.
Okay. Okay.
So do you go to Western stores and get the shirts that have snaps instead of
everything? I have has quarter zip or a full zip, and if you see me wear a tux or anything, the buttons are covered up. You don't see the buttons, or I'll wear a tie over my suit, and it'll be stationed in, so you can never flap it out. To be really honest with you, I don't know what you call it, but yeah, I can't stand buttons.
Well, that's a fear that's very easily avoidable. So that's a good thing.
It is. It's sadness.
That's one of those things when you say, this little known fact about Mark Warner. He's got a phobia for buttons.
And Stuart's getting old. And Vaughn needs more light.
Yes, I do. I need more light.
She needs more light.
Yes.
I need more light.
Yeah.
Well, we all need more light. And so, again, those sun lamps that we're talking about, I think that's more of a mood lighting versus a functioning, sit by, do work kind of lighting. It's supposed to just lift your spirits on those dark, gloomy winter days. So I don't know.
And
That's
you know what?
They say.
And Mark, you know what to get Kim for Christmas? Get her a couple of nice lights to put on that credenza, and then buy her a clapper. So, clap on, clap off,
Karen just said, Stu, I think you should do a whole show on Weird Mark.
Yeah, we could. In
Karen,
fact, not only a show, we could do a series.
Yeah, the show kind of took a turn and just went, woo.
Hey, it's rare that I make an appearance, especially wearing a hat with a Santa hat, because I don't wear hats, and if I do, I'm usually wearing my flag hat. That's it.
It looks like a combination Santa hat and Mickey Mouse hat. Are those two black ears?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about weird things.
Stuart, he should have done that at the very beginning.
I don't, I mean, I think we lost it at hello.
I think he put a little too much Kahlua in his coffee this morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of that, I'll tell you a good mixing thing, and then I got to go because you guys got to get off your show.
Should I write this one down?
You should write this down.
Cocktail,
So we have a Keurig coffee maker. You need to get Starbucks hot chocolate. Okay. And then pour you in probably a full table, maybe 2 tablespoons of Irish cream red velvet.
What is that?
It's a liqueur.
Oh, it's a liqueur. Oh, okay.
Yes, Irish cream red velvet. That only comes out at Christmas. It's to die for.
Okay, wait. So wait. You buy the Starbucks already, like you buy a
you buy it in a K-Cup.
Okay, and so you buy
by itself is really good. But if you go to the liquor store and go to where they have the liqueurs, you can get Irish cream, and they have a red velvet version.
Okay, wait a second. So you're saying it's a Starbucks pod that you put in the cup? So Starbucks makes a hot chocolate in a pod?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Irish cream, what flavor? Red velvet?
Red velvet. It'll come in a red glass bottle, about 12 inches tall. Looks like a vodka bottle.
So my notes
Bailey's Irish cream. So Bailey's is who make it. So it's Bailey's Irish cream.
My notes today after Mark's lesson 5,000 Kelvigs and Starbucks hot chocolate, Irish cream, red velvet liqueur. So I'm good.
Yeah.
And by the way, I will be doing both those things.
I just ordered a case. I just ordered a case.
Karen's on a roll.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, Karen, you're absolutely right. I'll tell you what I put in my coffee. That's another life lesson for you. BSB, brown sugar bourbon. It is. Oh my God, it's so freaking awesome. You can drink it on the rocks. You can put it with soda pop. You can put it with, ready for this? My last thing I got to say, and then we really do have to get off. Vanilla bean ice cream Coke float with brown sugar bourbon.
Hey, Vaughn, where did we lose control of our show?
I don't know, Stuart, but I'm writing a lot of this stuff down. Mark, say it again. Vanilla bean, go.
And by the way, I got one for you too. I got a case of coffee, K-Cups coffee from Angelina's, and it's not only got the regular, but it's got some flavored coffees, and one of them is coffee that's infused with Jamaican rum.
Oh yeah,
and it's called Jamaica Me Crazy.
Oh my God, that's cute.
No, I took vanilla bean.
Wait, Mark. Vanilla bean what?
I took vanilla bean ice cream. And then I took Dr. Pepper cherry as my soda flavor. And then I was sitting there one night and my friends were all like, well, we're all going to have an adult beverage. And I was like, well, I'm eating ice cream. So I went in there and opened my bottle of BSB, brown sugar bourbon. And I just poured me a little bit more than a few drops in there. And when I was eating, I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. I can't do another Coke float without it.
So it was a spiked Coke float. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well, folks, listen, we gotta close up the bar because
Stay tuned next week for more recipes from Browns to Brew.
There's more recipes, and if you want, you can text us your recipes in advance, and we'll share them online.
Yeah, and by the way, just so we might post what we're going to talk about on the show, might not always be what we're going to talk about on the show.
Exactly, and yeah, chances are it probably won't be. So if you're interested in the topic that we've come up with, forget about it.
Yeah, we'd like to thank our guest speaker, Mickey Santa down there, Santa Mickey, and all his life lessons.
Yeah, I want to thank David and Karen, and also Lori for tuning in. Thanks for being with us. And I think
Karen,
we're going to close out the show because I need a drink.
Okay, me too. I'm gonna go get some more of my coffee cup.
See y'all later. Catch you next week.
See you later.
Bye.